Hi, I'm Elizabeth Haru. I'm a 23-year-old Staff Sergeant at the United States Air Force Academy. In this speech, we're going to talk a little bit about sleep education and relaxation. And here are my audience members.
Jim Mitchell.
And Carolyn Mitchell.
And Josh.
He's the cameraman. Alright, so let's get started. As I mentioned, in this speech it's about sleep education and relaxation. So first off, we're going to talk a little bit about what sleep is, sleep hygiene, and then the actual relaxation techniques. So let's get started. Okay, first off, there's two types of sleep. You guys have probably heard of REM sleep. There's also another stage, which is non-REM sleep, or also known as quiet sleep. REM is rapid eye movement. Next, we're going to move on into the stages of sleep. There are 5 stages of sleep. First one, transition stage. This is where if you wake someone up, they're probably going to say that they weren't really asleep. And it usually lasts 5 to 10 minutes until we get to stage 2. And this is where we start seeing the decreased temperature and heart rate. Moving on, we go into stage 3. So this is where we move from that light sleep and onto deep sleep. Now, deep sleep, stage 4, this is where the bedwetting can occur, hopefully not now, and then sleepwalking occurs as well. This is also the stage where they believe memory is kind of solidified. So, you know in American Idol, where you see those people staying up all night long trying to memorize their songs and everything, and they're usually the ones that do poorly the next day? That's because they didn't get to that stage 4 sleep, and that's where the memories actually are embedded into your brain. So stage 5 is REM sleep, the rapid eye movement. Now this occurs towards the end of the sleep cycle and is approximately 90 minutes in. Now this is a pretty great picture of how our stages of sleep go. So starting out, we have awake, go down to stage 1 of course, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Now REM is actually all the way up here. It's where you're not actually that deep asleep, which is a common misconception about our sleep. Another good thing to notice about this picture is that the deep periods of sleep are actually longer in the earlier hours of your night, and actually you get less as the night goes on. So it's really good to get that big chunk of sleep right at the beginning. Do we have any questions so far? No? Okay. All right. So, now that we know a little bit more about sleep, how many of you guys get a good night of sleep all the time? Not that many? Some? No? One of the ways that we can help get a good night's sleep is to focus a little bit on sleep hygiene. So, here's some tips and techniques that you can do. Fixed bedtime, so that means even during the week and weekends, wake up within an hour of your usual wake time. So if you wake up at 5:30 on weekdays, you should really be waking up at about 6:30 at the latest on the weekends. Naps. If you're going to take a nap, keep them 20 to 30 minutes long, and also keep them before 12 o'clock. And this is basically to make sure that your main period of sleep is at night, so you are getting all that deep sleep, that stage 4 sleep that you need. Alcohol. Avoid alcohol 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Caffeine, same as well. Caffeine has a half-life of 4 to 6 hours, so it's good to avoid it 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Also at the bottom here we have exercise, and exercise is really good late in the afternoon, but not right before bedtime because it could hype you up. Some more. Temperature, keep it cold, dark, quiet in your bedroom. Avoid having a TV in there because televisions do cause that stimulation and it's not good to have right before bedtime. And then a pre-sleep ritual. That can include having a warm bath, warm shower, especially anything that calms you down. That means maybe reading the newspaper, not doing cleaning work really, that could keep you going. And also reserve the bed for sleep and sex only because you don't want to associate your bed with a negative place. If you are going to argue, get out of bed. If you can't fall asleep right away, you think it's been about 15 minutes, get up out of bed and do something boring. So, but there's times where sleep hygiene does not always work for us. If it's time of great anxiety in our lives, maybe there's been a death in the family, a new birth, anything like that where sleep hygiene is not enough. There are some relaxation techniques that you can add to your sleep routine. And one of them is diaphragmatic breathing, and the next one is progressive muscle relaxation. Has anyone heard of these before? No? Okay, so diaphragmatic breathing is pretty awesome, where you basically, everyone go ahead and put a hand on their stomach if you can, and imagine you have the biggest pair of sweatpants on, and you're trying to fill that. So you push out with your stomach, breathe in, push out right there. Now, this is actually how you breathe when you sleep, and it takes a while to get used to this practice. We do recommend you doing it about 5 times a day, and do it for about 5 to 10 minutes a day. Now, progressive muscle relaxation, you guys have probably done this before, but it's where you start from your toes and you go all the way up, and it's basically scrunching your muscles about 50 to 60% of what you can do, and relaxing them. You do each muscle group twice, and you want to practice that as well. The more you practice, the more you'll be able to do these when you actually need them. Alright, so we talked about the stages of sleep, types of sleep, sleep hygiene, and relaxation. And as I said, I'm Elizabeth Haru. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask. If we run out of time though, you can always feel free to contact me through my contact information. Does anybody have any questions at this time? No? Everyone's good? Alright, well thank you, and I hope you guys have a good day.